Hello everyone, this is Professor Maloney, and this video recording is going to be a demonstration of perhaps 4 tasks from each of the 4 Excel training modules. All right. Again, as was the case with Word, there are going to be a lot of tasks in Excel. There are 126 in Word. I'm not sure how many there are in Excel, but I will count them now as we go along with this demonstration. But remember, training is very important. So I don't want you to do these things one time. You need to do it quite a few times, each task. And then when you're comfortable with them, move on to the next training. Write down notes on what you're doing, but do each one 3, 4, 5 times. And then after you finish, let's say the first time, you probably find, well, maybe half of them were so easy, I don't need to repeat them. Perhaps only a quarter of them are that easy, and maybe none, but either way. Then the ones that were more challenging anyway, at least do them a second time. And then some out of those, perhaps half of them were still difficult for you. So do them another time. And you have the observe mode, remember, you have the practice mode, all right? So I'm going to demonstrate that now. Let me share my screen, my entire screen, and allow, okay? All right, so now over here in content, let's see, I've got my video, I've got my audio, I've got my volume. Okay, we're all good. So over here now, I'm going to go ahead and go to Student Start here and go to MindTap. Remember, you have to always go into MindTap from Blackboard or you won't get credit, like they won't sync your grades if you just go into mindtap.com or cengage.com or whatever. All right. Okay. So I'm going to be going into, what am I going to be doing? First of all, let me make this big. So let's make this, that. All right, that. So I'm going to go into Excel and I'll go into module 1 and I'll go into the SAM training. Okay. And I'm going to try to remember to count as I go. So let's see how many are here. All right. There's 38 tasks so far. 38, right? So center the contents of cell C3 horizontally. So remember, here is C, column C, and here is, they said C3. So this is 3, the 3 row. So I'll click it this way to show you. That's the 3 row, and then this is the C column. And they want us to, in other words, take this, and then they want to center the contents horizontally. So here, if we look at this thing here, that's center. So let's click it. Okay, and it's done. All right. All right. Hide the grid lines in the current worksheet. So grid lines are these lines that you see that are going, in the case of vertical, they're going, every cell has a left vertical line and a right vertical line. Every row has a top horizontal line, bottom horizontal line. What they want us to do, in other words, is to take all them lines away. We don't normally do that because it makes it easier to see, to distinguish between all these, thousands and thousands of cells in every worksheet by having grid lines. But anyway, you can. So you go to your view mode, okay, and you're looking for grid lines. So grid lines, grid lines. View grid lines is on, so I'm going to take it off by hitting the checkbox. Okay, so now there are no grid lines, but you can't see it. Well, you saw it for a second. All right, but you can experiment, by the way, in your own Excel worksheets. Okay, so I just demonstrated this thing in class for you guys a few minutes ago. So I'll do the same thing there now just to show you. So in view, okay, if I click grid lines, you see no grid lines. I don't like that. Like you see over here, I am in these cells, but without grid lines, it's hard to see. So, but they wanted you to demonstrate that you could do it. That's all. I mean, in this particular training. All right, next one. Use the tell me box to change the fill color of cells in range B4 to D4 to black text 1. All right. So they want us to go into the tell me to do this, and this is the tell me. All right. So let's see, B4 to D4. B4 to D4. So these here, so I'm going to select these and then go into this tell me and say change the fill color. let's see, change fill color. Get help on, oops, okay. Remember, I may have to do the observe or the practice too. Remember, that's what you can do in all of these, right? So anyway, all right, let's see. Tell me box to change. The way I would really do it, I wouldn't even use that darn box. I'd just go into, this is to fill color. Okay, so I'm going to do it this way, even though they probably don't want me to, so they won't let me get it right, but I'll just do it. So there, and they're telling us it is theme colors, top row, second option. This is the top row. This is the second option. So if I click it, this is right, but they're probably not going to let us get credit for it. Oh, well, they let us get credit for it. Okay, so I did it that way. All right. This one, select cell D22. So here's D, and here's 22. So I just click it. That's all. It's done. All right, how many is that? I am now on, I don't even know which one I'm on. What's going on? Oh, 5. All right, so I did 4, and I said I'm going to do 4 for each of the trainings, okay? So out of those 4, however many of them were a little bit difficult to you, make sure you do them at least a few times, okay? One's like select cell D23, or well, hopefully that was pretty easy. You just click the cell. But anything that confuses you, make sure you do it enough and write down notes, okay? All right, so I'm going to, I'll just finish this 5th one then, all right? All right, so let's see, in J5, enter the value as text using the keyboard or key. So they're even telling you keyboard or keypad in this case, all right? So I got to go to J5. So here's J, here is 5, all right? Now, so they want this as text, all right? So if I type 77112, I can do the typing now, 77112, but I can't enter it until I do the rest. So they want me to, oh, actually, I can't do it now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get out of that. Okay, so let's get here, come back here. All right, so anyway, they want me to change this thing here. They want it to be text, okay? So if I click text, oops, sorry, enter the value 77112. So 77, I do have to enter that first, 77112. No, I don't. I'm not sure. Let's see. All right, J5 as text using the keyboard. That was the keyboard. Again, I got to get in it. If I type 77, yeah, if I type, then I can't do it. So I have to change it first, it looks like. Let's see. But once I type text, then it's not going to let me do it. Yeah, all right. All right, let's just do the observe on this. Oh, where the heck is my observe, by the way? What's going on? Okay, here we go. I'll do the practice. Okay.
Typing an apostrophe in front of a number in a cell causes Excel to treat that number as text rather than a number.
An apostrophe
this is
in
useful
front.
when entering zip codes or years.
Okay.
Click cell J5.
Okay.
You want to enter the zip code as a text value.
So they want an apostrophe.
Type apostrophe 77112 in the cell and then press enter. Excel enters the value in the cell as text. Note that the apostrophe is not visible in the worksheet, although a green triangle appears at the top left corner of the cell indicating an error message. Since you don't want this value treated as a number, you can ignore the message.
Okay. All right. So then apply it. So they're wanting us to come over here again, J5. But rather than do it this way, even though you can do it this way, okay, like again, I could do it on the little sheet I have open here, but they're saying the official way to do it when you want it as text is to preface the number, meaning start with a apostrophe, and then do. So I'm going to click in here, do an apostrophe 77112, excuse me, and then enter it. And the number is in, but the apostrophe is not. So again, I'll do it here so you can kind of see it. So apostrophe 77112, and once I enter it, see it's got this green thing on top, on the top left cell, top left part of the cell, which basically is telling us there is an error, but it's not an error per se. We're wanting it stored as text. And the reason we're wanting it stored as text is because they don't want us to do calculations on this number. Whereas if we do it this way, 77112, Okay. Now I could use it and do formulas with it. And they're saying they don't want us to because it's a zip code. All right. So that was the intent of what they were saying. Anyway. All right. So that's that one. So now I'm going to go to Excel Training 2. All right. Yep. Remember, if you get out of it, save your changes so that you, when you come back in, then you go back to the same spot. All right. So that was Excel 1. So here's module 2. Okay. So on this one, remember there were 38. So 38 tasks. Let's see how many there are on this one. Here there's 23. So 38 and 20 is 58 and 3. That's 61 now. Wrap the text in cell A6 so that all the text is visible in the cell. So we go to A and we go to 6. Okay. And they want us to wrap. So in here in your alignment group, okay, in the alignment up here, so it's your home tab, and then alignment, there's a word called wrap text. And if you hover it, it tells you wrap extra long text into multiple lines so you can see all of it. In other words, what will happen is whatever the con is here, wireless configuration, whatever, it'll then go to a new line in the cell. So watch. All right, so we click wrap text right here, and it's now wireless communications is what it was. Okay. All right, that's that one. Next one. Use flash fill to fill range E4 to E15 after typing curtis.g at rockland.com in cell E4 and Sal in cell E5. Use flash fill. All right, so there's a flash fill. I'm not sure where flash fill is. Let's see. You know, I told you about the fill handle. The fill handle is the bottom right corner of a cell. Flash fill, though, does a little bit of something else. So I don't think it's going to work, but I'll do it the way I would normally do it, the word flash being here. And if it doesn't work, then we'll do it obviously from the observe or the practice. All right, so E4 to E15. So first I'm going to select E4. Fill that after typing. So after typing in E4. So they want me to type curtis.g at rockland.com. curtis.g at rockland.com in E4 and Sal in E5. Sal in E5. Oh, Sal. Oh, Sal. Okay. Let's see. Okay, there you go. So Sal there, and the flash fill is already done. Okay, so and actually it's already, so once I enter, it's done. Okay. All right, that's cool. All right. So what it did is it took the email that I typed, the curtis.g at rockland.com, and then in the next one down, the guy's name I noticed was Salazar, but they said just type S-A-L, and then they were telling us it would then pick up the rest of that email by itself. Okay, so maybe I can demonstrate that one here too. Let's see. That was curtis.g at rockland.com. Oh, you know what? It won't work. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do it from that one. It won't work. I was going to say I can do it here, but I'd have to put the person's names because the email was what they were wanting us to do, and I don't have that name list here, so I'm not going to try to demonstrate it. But basically, the reason it worked is because the sheet we were on. Let's go back to that sheet. Go back to that task. This one. Okay. See, if I typed this stuff, contact last, okay, and maybe even contact first, then when I did the email would have been based on this curtis.g, G for this, and then at rockland.com. And then by typing SAL, it would have, because of the flash fill, it would have then interpreted to be the same. So they would say, okay, Sal dot, that would come out to Salazar dot A at rockland.com. Okay. All right. Let's just do that one more time then. All right. So curtis.g at rockland.com, enter that, and then once we type SAL, see, now it's coming in with that information. It's going to make the assumption that we want that for every other employee, meaning last name, dot, first letter of first name, and then the @rock.com. Okay. All right. So that's that one. Enter a formula using arithmetic operators and parentheses in cell B14 that adds the monthly expenses in cells B9, B10, and B11, and then multiplies that result by 12. Let's see. So first thing is they want us in B14. So here's B and here's 14. That's where they want us. Okay. You see the name is B14. You can also look at the bottom of cell B, column B, and it's got that green color where A doesn't and C doesn't. So that's where we are. And then 14 is like the row thing. So that's all row 14 from left to right. And then B and 14 match up right here. All right. And or you just look in the name box. Okay. So we want to add the monthly expenses in B9, B10, B11. And they said they want us to use arithmetic operators and parentheses. So we want to have to do it with the sum, I'm guessing. So equal sum, open, okay? And B9, and you know, since B9, B10, and B11 are there, I'm going to do it the way I want you to do it, and then they'll tell us if it's allowed or not. So B9, B10, B11, as opposed to B9 plus B10 plus B11, okay? And then, and then multiplies that result. So what I got to do is put a open parenthesis, okay, in here. Whoops. Well, let me get, my sun is starting to come out now. Okay, so let's go here again, B14 equal, okay, sum, open. So B9 to B11, and then I'll close it, and then multiply that result by 12. Okay, and that did it. So so let's go back and look at that one just so I can explain it also. So go back to 3. All right, so they're telling us they want us to enter a formula. So the first thing is, where do you want the formula? Because there's a lot of information. So B14, so go to B14 first. It makes it easier, right? Because now you can say, okay, I'm in B14, so forget that part. But now they want us to add the monthly expenses in B9, B10, and B11. So I did it with the equal sum, right? Equal sum, and I did my open parentheses, and then I just clicked in B9 and dragged down to B11. I probably could have done B9 plus B10 plus B11 and then close the parentheses. But the point is that one way or another, you know this works, so this is the way I want you to do it, B9 to B11, but then the key is they're saying, and then multiply that result 12. So that brings us back to what we call order of operations. You need to understand what happens first and what happens subsequently, second. So if I have something in parentheses like that, that's going to happen first. So what it's going to do is add those 3 up. So it's going to go 15 and 6 is 21, so 21,600, and then 40. So 21,640. It's taken that number, all right? So 21,640, and it's multiplying that times 12 because it's assuming that these monthly numbers will be the same for all 12 months in the year, all right? So by doing it this way, we're summing these numbers first, and then we're multiplying it times 12, all right? Where if I would have done it where I just say equal sum open, and then I said B9 to B11 asterisk 12, it would do the asterisk, the multiplication first, because multiplication has a higher order of operation than addition, okay? So open parentheses, then do the addition, close the parentheses. That way, that means that's done first, and then times the 12. All right. All right. So that is that one. See number 4. We'll do another one here. All right. So in cell B19, create a formula by entering cell references that subtracts cell B6 from B5 and then subtracts cell B18. Again, it's quite a bit. So B19 is first. So in B19, right there. So I'm in the right cell. Now, create a formula by entering cell references. So they want us to make sure we're using cell references. That's what we're always going to be doing. So equal sum, open. So subtracts B6 from B5. That means it's B5 minus B6. So B5, click this one, okay? And then minus B6 from it. So B5 minus is the dash sign, okay, minus, and then B6, okay? So that's that. And then subtracts cell B18. So in this case, because they're all subtraction, I can just do B5 minus 6 minus B18. So I can just put another minus and B18 this way, and that will be fine. Otherwise, I do equal sum, open parenthesis, B5 minus B6, close the parenthesis, and then do minus B18. Okay, but this should be fine too. And it's done. Okay? All right. Last one. Do 5 in this one. So in cell D19, create a formula using the count function to count the values in the range D5 to D18. Remember what I showed you earlier in my little video? Today, which was October the 11th, I demonstrated this. I said, whatever number of items you have, doesn't matter what the values are, like we got 11, 10, 9, 9, 7, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. We just want to know how many clients are there. And you might say, well, it's easy. You have 18 here. You're starting on number 5, so you have 13. That's not the answer, because what if you had 10,000? You want to do it the easy way. So they're telling us in D19, which is here, use the auto sum, okay? And we want just the count. So count is this one, okay? It'll tell us, I think you want the count from D5 to D18. The reason it tells us this, again, I told you it's a rolling marquee. It's just letting you know this is what we think you want. By default, the reason we normally use the first empty cell, like D19, there was nothing in it, so we were putting a formula. And AutoSum works under the assumption that everything above the empty cell you're in, that's a number, is what you probably want. So in this case, there's not a number in years as client. There's not a number in D1, D2, or D3. So the ones that have numbers start at D5. So that's what the assumption is, and they're right. Okay, so we enter that. And it's 14. All right. Okay. Anyway, so that's done as well. That was, let's see. That was, where am I? Okay, that was 5. All right. So that's that. So now let's get out of this one. And oops, where am I? What the heck? I want to end this, right? I said I wanted to exit. Where am I? Here's my pop-up. Right. So I'm doing my pop-up. Yeah, I guess I want to stop. Man, I've got a bad memory this morning. Anyway, I want to just get out of here, I guess. So I'll get out and say whatever. And in your case, you'd say, yeah, I want to save it. Okay, so I did that. So that was demonstrating module 2. The next one, excuse me, is module 3. And remember, you should be reading these things. And I haven't even talked about this stuff. So like read the module and complete the activities before you do the training. That'll help you too. So here, read the module and complete the activities. I got to remember to say that in class. Okay, anyway, module 3 training. Okay, and again, I'll do 4 or 5. So there were 61 so far. Remember 38 and 23, and now 44. So 63 and 44 is 107. That's a lot, and we haven't even done module 4 yet. Okay, so rotate the contents of the cells in range A3 to D3 exactly 45 degrees, which is 3 points up and to the left of the 0 marker on the orientation arc. What they're saying is, so A3 to D3, that's the first thing to do, A3 to D3. So you select it. So now you've done that. Now, in my orientation video, I told you that you can do this one here, what's it called? Orientation. That you can change the orientation to these cool angles. So they want 45. If I just click this angle counterclockwise, this is the right answer. I don't know if they'll take it as the right answer, though, or they might make me do something else, but this is the right answer. Nope, they want me to do it the manual way, I guess. All right, so A3 to D3, and now I got to go into orientation. Let's see. So I got to do the down arrow, and then I guess I have to format the cell alignment. Format the cell alignment. Move this. And they want it to be 45. This should be 45 right here. And they're saying, though, it's 3 points up and to the left of the 0 on the orientation arc. 3 up. 1, 2, 3 up, which is this. Okay. And now see it's saying it's 45. All right. So I could also have done it from here, but based on exactly what they're saying. So I went into the orientation, the down arrow, and then I picked the choice that said manually do whatever, the orientation. And then I looked up here. It was sitting going from left to right, where this is basically where the end of this line was, right here. And it said 3 points up. So that's 1 up, that's 2 up, that's 3 up. So then I clicked that, and then this changed to 45. But we probably could have just typed the number 45 here as well. Anyway, okay, and done. All right, so that is number 1. Align the contents of B4 vertically using the bottom align option. So again, B, in this case, got to find your cell. This is the cell. You see how it's way up here at the top? Right, so that right here is a line up. Let's get out of here. Okay, so B4, that's on a line up. They want it vertically using the bottom align. So this is the top align. Okay, this is the middle or the center, whatever they call it, and then this is the bottom. So this is the one we have to do, bottom align. Okay, done. All right. Use the autofill feature to fill the range A4 to A15 with the names of the months in chronological order, starting with January in A4. I demonstrated this in class as well on today's video, the orientation video. As long as you spell January correctly and you use a capital J, then every other month will come in, correctly. If you typed it with a little j, then everything else would come in with a little, like a little f, little m, little a, little m again, etc. So do what they're telling us. So autofill to fill the range with the names of the month. So what I have to first do is enter it. Okay. Then I go back to the cell, and that little thing in the bottom right, just above that, that's the fill handle. Remember, fill handle is a thin black plus sign. This is the cursor. This is the resize. And this thing here is fill handle, and they want me to go to A15. So click it and drag down to A15, and once I release it, all them months will be there. See, they're all there, and it's complete. Okay? All right. That was number 3. Fill the series in the range B5 to F6 using a growth trend with a step value of 1.1. So B5 to F5. So B5 to F5. So they want this to come over here with a 10% higher number, and then here with a 10% higher number again, and then more 10%, more 10%. And then, in other words, they're predicting 10% growth every year. Okay, so let's see. Step value of 1.1. I don't think I know this. This will just take it, but I have to do something else. So let's see. Let's see. Oh, here's fill. Let's see what the fill. Down, right, up, that, series, justify. Let's see what series is. It's probably not right, but I'm going to try it. Oh, maybe. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So it's that one. So let me go in here. So again, click in the right cell. So in this case, B4, because this is what's going to happen. And then we're going to drag it to B5. Sorry. So we're going to then take the fill handle and drag it to F5, meaning we're going to drag it to this one and then this, all while holding down the control key, the control key, and or the left mouse button, sorry. But anyway, they want this growth trend. So we're going into up here first in the fill, and then we click the fill, okay? And notice that they have the word fill the series, so fill is a good indication as to what you're doing. And then the growth trend of 1. And so I said probably in series, and we went into series, and they have a step value of 1. We can change that if we want, but that's what we want is 1 with growth trend. So it's a growth trend. Okay, so we have to click that one. So look for the word, and then step value of 1.1. So step value, yeah, because you want a 10% more. Okay, and then say okay. Oops. Oh, maybe, let's see. So maybe I got to do all this. Let me select them all first, and then go in fill. Yeah, that's what I got to do. Most likely. Series 1.1 growth and okay. Yeah. All right. So same as the other one. I mean, in terms of fill, but here we had to do it a little bit differently. So let me go back to that one here. So they said the range B5 to F5. Anything they tell you there, normally that's what you want to select. So B5 to F5, so that's selected. And then they're saying the word fill, so we're looking for a fill. You know, the fill is the fill handle, but they want us to do not just, what this would do is just copy 85,000 to all these because it's only one number. If it was 2 numbers that we were selecting, then it would take the difference between them and move them over. They want a fill with a growth trend. So we did this thing here, and then we have to know its series, and then we have to know we want growth, and then we have to type what they said, 1.1, which means it's going to be 10% higher each time, and then okay. So it's 93, 102, 113, 124. So it kept growing by 10%. All right, so that's all right. The last one. Meaning number 5, task instructions. Use autofill to fill range D12 to D19 with only the formatting from D11. So here D11 is this, okay? And they want us though to fill the range 12 to 19. So D12 to D19, so that. And they want that to have the formatting from D11. I forget about formatting, but I would say that's format handle. I'm going to just do this one with the wherever it is, practice, just to see what they say. All right, so practice.
Use the autofill feature to apply the formatting from one cell in a range to the other cells in the range, which you might do in financial statements. The option to apply only the formatting lets you retain the original data values in the cells. Click cell D11.
So D11.
You will fill the cells in the range you select with the formatting from this cell.
Okay.
Drag the fill handle at the bottom of cell D11 to the bottom of cell D19.
Oh, okay.
Release the mouse button.
So that's what I've already showed you guys in class. So they just had a different word for whatever it is. All right. So they want me to take the fill handle, click it, and drag it to right there, and then release.
Excel displays a border around the range D11 through D19. In addition, Excel fills cells in the range with the value from cell D11.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Click
anyway.
the autofill options button.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is where there's an option. Click that.
The autofill options menu opens. You want to fill the destination range with the formatting from cell D11, but you want the cells to retain their original values. On the menu, click Fill Formatting. Excel restores the original values in the range and formats them using the number formatting from cell D11.
Okay. So apply. All right, so here, let's pull this up here next to us. So we're taking the fill handle from D11 and we're going to drag it to just down to D19. Okay. Once we do that, though, then we got to click this little thing that opens up. It's called autofill options. Okay, so we did that. Autofill options is here, so we click it, and they said fill series. So we did that. Oops, they didn't say fill series. Let me try again. Oh, sorry, fill formatting only. Fill formatting, yeah, fill formatting only. Okay, all right, and then it did that. All right, so that was 5 of them. So that was module 3. Okay, and then get out of that one. Oh shoot. Okay, yeah. Then module 4 training. Module 4. Again, do this. Read the module first. You gotta read to understand it. All right. So start this one, and then that'll be about it. All right. So here, excuse me. Group the October, November, and December worksheets. Then in cell B9 of the October worksheet, use the auto sum to total the values excuse me, in range B6 to B8. Group the worksheets. Group the worksheets. Then in cell B9 of the October sheet, I don't know that, but let's see. It's probably selecting this, holding down the, and then holding down this and this. I think it's doing that where you're selecting them all. So if I group it, then in B9 on the October sheet, I think I'm on October still because it's the one selected. So in B9, so B9, use the auto sum to total the value. So we just want to do our auto sum and sum. Okay. So then I enter that. Okay. And now they're saying undo the grouping. So now they just basically want me to click. Shoot. Oh well. All right. Let's just go ahead and do it with them telling us. So here I shall practice. Let's see.
Grouping worksheets can make your work easier and faster by letting you perform an action on multiple worksheets at once.
Yeah.
For example, you can total the monthly sales values in a range on several worksheets at the same time. Click the October Worksheet tab.
Let me move this up so you can see where she is. Okay, that's what we did.
To group worksheets, start by clicking the first worksheet in the group.
Yeah.
Press and hold the Shift key, then click the December Worksheet tab. The 3 worksheets are now grouped.
I did
There's
that.
a green line
I just did it with
under
control,
all 3
but
sheet
either way.
names, and the word group appears in the title bar. Click cell B9.
Yeah, it does say that. All right, B9, I did that.
You want to add a formula here to total the values in range B6 through B8.
Yeah, we did that.
In the editing group on the ribbon, click the Excel displays the sum function in cell B9. Because worksheets are grouped, Excel will automatically enter the same formula in cell B9 of the other worksheets in the group.
So we did this though.
On the formula bar, click the Enter button.
Okay, I just hit the Enter. So they said Enter this way.
Right-click the October Worksheet tab.
This is what I didn't do. Right-click.
The shortcut menu opens. On the shortcut menu, click Ungroup Sheets.
Okay, but by clicking November, it also ungroups the sheets, but okay.
Excel ungroups the worksheets. The worksheet names November and December are now gray instead of black, and the green line beneath them disappears. The word group no longer appears in the title bar.
Okay. So click November.
Click the November worksheet. The formula you entered in the October worksheet appears in the formula for the November worksheet as well, because you entered it when the sheets were grouped.
Yep. Okay. Apply. All right. So again, except this time we'll do the whole thing. So you can still do October. You know, I'm going to just control and control because for sure they're grouped. Okay. It says they are grouped. So anyway, you can do it that way or just what she said, which was hold your Shift key down and click December. So that's all fine. All right, so that's done. Then in B9 on October, we're in October. You can tell that because it's got the green word as opposed to the others. So I'm going to go to B9 and do the auto sum. And I want the auto sum for sum. Okay. Now I entered it by hitting my enter, but now I'm going to do it this way. Enter with this check mark. I'm not sure if this is what the only way, but either way, that's what they told us to do. So I'm doing it. So do that. Okay. Excuse me. So I did that. Let's see, in B9 of that, use the auto sum to total. I did that. Ungroup the worksheets. And then they said ungroup by, I think it was a right click here. I think it was right click. Let's see. Yeah, right click on October, ungroup sheets. Okay, and then click November. And now it's done. Okay. So a lot of work, but again, you know, you can do it and then have that set up. All right, so that was number one. All right, so this one. In cell B6, enter a formula using defined names to subtract direct costs from revenue. All right, so go to B6. So B6, okay? So in this particular example, they've named a range in B5 as direct costs, and they've named B4 as revenue. Okay, name boxes are up here. I think they'll let me click it, so I'm just going to click it to show you where they are. You see there's a direct costs and there's revenues. Okay, so they're named, and that's what they're wanting us to do. So they want us in B6, that's where we are. Enter a formula using defined names, that's from in this drop down box. And what they want to do is subtract direct costs from revenue. So it's going to be B4 minus B5. Or in this case, we're going to say revenues. So I'm going to click revenues. Okay. And then I type minus. Okay. And then I type direct costs. Oh, whoa. No, let's get out of that. Something didn't happen here. Let's go again. All right. So B6. So for sure here, they are wanting us to enter a formula using defined names to subtract direct costs from revenue. So maybe I have to say the equal sum they want me to. So equal sum. And then if I type revenues, R-E-V, okay, yeah. So revenues is here. So revenue minus, and then if I type DIR, direct costs, okay, and then I have to close the parentheses. So equal sum, and then direct cost, I should be able to click this without it being marked as wrong. Again, well, they're not here now because they're used, but they were there. I showed you that. So equal sum, open parentheses, and then instead of typing, let's see, subtracting revenue minus from revenue. So instead of typing the cell B4, we type revenues. Instead of typing the cell B5, we type DIR, and then the name pops up. Okay, so now if I enter that, I think I'm just moving it around too much now. Equal sum, direct costs, let's go minus revenue minus direct costs, revenues, sorry, minus direct costs. Let's see if this is the enter I got to do. Enter. Okay, anyway, I know I did it right, but let's just go ahead and let them tell us. Okay, so practice.
Use defined names in formulas rather than cell references so users can understand the formula inputs and outputs at a glance. Click cell B6. You will enter a formula here that subtracts cell B5 from cell B4. You will use the cell's defined names instead of their cell addresses in the formula.
Yeah, we did this.
Type equal sign, revenues, minus sign, direct costs in cell B6 and press enter.
Okay, sometimes the way they do it is they want it done a specific way. So you just have to remember that if on an exam, and again, you can do it via note. So I always do equal sum, open parentheses, and then at the end, close parentheses. In this case, they do not want us doing the sum. So they're saying just equal revenues, and I can click it like I did or just type the rest out, revenues, and then minus. And you know when I type DI, you're going to see the word direct, DIR, you see direct costs, and I'll type the whole silly thing out, okay, and then press enter.
After you finish typing revenues, Excel highlights cell B4 in the worksheet, indicating that the defined name revenues refers to that cell. Similarly, Excel highlights cell B5 after you finish typing direct costs. Excel then returns the result of the formula in cell B6.
Okay, so again, we come over here and we do it, but this time we're going to go to B6 and just say equal. They don't want sum this time, and we're going to type revenues minus direct costs and then enter it. Okay. All right, so that's that one. Share the current workbook on OneDrive with user1@cengage.com and add the message, please approve for distribution with the emailed workbook link. Okay, so you see there's quite a bit to do in this thing here. So share the current workbook. This is the current workbook. So if we want to go into our, to share it on OneDrive, we got to go into our file. Okay, so then we're going to just look for share. Here's share. Okay, so equal share. Oops. And, oh, I haven't picked, I guess, the, let's see, share. Share the current book on OneDrive. So, share the current book on OneDrive. Yeah, I said share. Okay, manage, browser. Share. Maybe I got to click it from here. Okay, yeah, that's what's going on. So I got to click the share from the navigation menu on the left side of that. And the person is user1@cengage.com. So capital U, user1@cengage.com. Okay. And then let's move this and add the message. So that's the person. Okay. So let's enter that part. Now they want us to add a message. Copy link, no. Anyone with the link can edit. Oh, send a copy. Let me click the down arrow and see. No. Okay, I got to again do it with them telling me. It's all right. There's lots of things, guys, and I know honestly I just don't do some of these things. Especially I don't share things.
Share workbooks with OneDrive to make collaboration among colleagues
but
easier.
It's a good idea.
Click the File tab on the ribbon.
File.
Excel displays Backstage View. In the left pane, click Share.
I clicked share up here, remember first? But anyway, share here. I did the second time.
The Send Link dialog box is displayed, where you will specify with whom to share the workbook. The default option is anyone with the link edit. You want to change this setting. Click the anyone with the link. The link settings dialog box is displayed with a full list of sharing options. Click the allow editing checkbox is selected and you will accept this setting. Click apply.
Okay.
The Send Link dialog box is displayed, where you will enter the email address for the person with whom you are sharing the workbook. Type user1@cengage.com at the insertion point. Excel will send a OneDrive link to the workbook to this email address. You can add a message to send along with the email. From the list of suggested contacts, choose user1@cengage.com. Click the Add a Message optional line of text. The line of text is replaced by an insertion point. Type, please approve for distribution at the insertion point. Excel will send this message with the OneDrive link to the email address specified above. Click Send.
So this would be a good reminder for you guys that, or a good note for you. when you're taking the exam, just like when you're doing some of the trainings, if you don't spell please approve for distribution correctly, this would be marked as wrong. If you do a little p or anything else where you change any of the case, the case for any of the words or the spacing or whatever else, then you won't get it right. Don't even put a period, all right? And then we click send. So there's actually quite a bit.
Excel emails the link to your OneDrive workbook to the recipient, along with your message.
All right, so let's try again. So file, and we want share in the left navigation menu, okay? We don't want anyone with the link. We want to click specific people, okay? And then in the specific people, we want, wait, I did that, and then apply, okay? Now we have to type user1@cengage.com. The U is the only thing that's capitalized. And that's another thing that, that you can make it wrong. User, that you would get it wrong, I mean, because they're purposefully going to have you type things like this, and you have to get it right or it's wrong. So make sure before you go to the next step, if it was, again, an exam, even on your training. So it's a capital U and then ser1@cengage.com, right? That's fine. Then we want to add this message, so we click this person, and now we want to add a message. Okay, so we're going to click this add a message, and we have to type please approve with a capital P for distribution, no period. See, if there was a period there, you'd do it. No period, and send. All right, okay. Let's see the next one. Assign the defined name to range C5 to C13. So C5 to C13, they want us to assign the name Sales 2020. So if I click here, I can't do it that way. Let's see. Excuse me. I want to assign. So it's not. Let's see. Insert, delete, format. No. I don't think format, no. Okay, so let's see. Page layout, formulas, maybe formulas. I'm looking for, no. Maybe data, actually. Let's go to data. And they want to assign the defined name Sales 2020. Data. Assigned names. Data validation, what if, assigned. Sort and filter data tools, queries. No, I don't see it there either. Assigned names. Assign names, assign names. To me, it should have been data, really. Data. I think it's data, but here. Or names. Name manager? No. Oh, wait, maybe. Okay, so name manager or this one. Let's see. I think it's going to be this one then. Okay. So that, assign the defined name. No, it's not there. Filter. Names, scoped, names, define names. All right, but so that, all right, it's there somewhere. Anyway, let's just go ahead and do it with practice. Okay.
Using a defined name that describes the
I thought it'd pop up over here.
Can make your formulas much easier to understand. A range name such as Sales 2020 tells you much more about the range you are referring to than cell addresses. Click and drag to select range C5 through C13.
Okay, we did that much.
You will create a name for this range based on its content.
Oh, I thought they said assign it to, so okay.
Click the Formulas tab on the ribbon.
So formulas.
In the Defined Names
there
group,
we go. Okay.
click the Define Name button.
Okay.
The New Name dialog box opens with the insertion point in the Name text box. Type Sales 2020 in the Click OK. The New Name dialog box closes. Excel assigns the name to the range. The new range name appears in the name box.
Okay, so, excuse me, assign the defined name. See, they're saying the defined name, but they're not telling me to create. But anyway, all right, so remember when they say that, if they say that, of course, this is only a task that may not be on the exam. But anyway, so sales 2020, they want me to do. So first, I got to set up the range, so C5 to C13, C5, drag down to C13. Then it's formulas and define the name. I was looking for a name, but so define name. And they said to call it Sales 2020. Same thing, guys, as I said. Click it again to make sure we can type. Same thing, though, this is a capital S, and there's no space after the word sales. It's just capital S for sales, and then 2020 right butting up against the S on the second S on sales. Okay, so make sure you do that. And then OK, and it's done. All right. So that, let's see, let's just do one more, I guess. All right, create defined names for range A4 to E18 using the create from selection command. Create from selection command. I'll try again. This one I obviously don't do much with this, but anyway. So A4 to E18, A4 to E18 to E to there, okay. Create from selection command. So create from selection. I'm going to create defined names, and these will automatically be done. All right, so this is good. So it might be in the formulas again. Now, this wouldn't be a formula, though. It's just creating defined names. Let me see if there's a choice. There isn't a choice. Create from selection. So there's somewhere it says create from selection. And that means I have to find names. So it's not going to be in this one here, I don't think. No. It's not going to be in that. Create from selection. Names. No. Okay, it is in formula. So create from selection. And it's the top row, I would guess, because this is the row. Names from values in the top row. Yeah, it tells us use the titles in the top row. So this, it'll have client ID, name, first, last, and years. It'll create these 5, and they'll automatically then be in this name box. Select the years range, and they're telling us to say OK on this. I didn't do years. Excuse me. So let's try apply again. I am still on apply. Okay, so A4 to E18. Oh, okay. I didn't do it all. To E18. Yeah. So they wanted me to go from A4. I only went here. Okay. See, but it's A4 to E18, not A4 to A18. Sorry. A, not E anyway. So now just verify what I've got. Here's A4 and here's E18, and they're all selected. So it's the range A4 to E18. All right. That's what we didn't do, or that's what I didn't do. All right, so formulas. Create from selection. We want the top row, and we want the years range. But where's the years range? Let me do it again. This hopefully is right. Okay, so now I have to get the years range. Oh, the years range from the name box. Okay, so now these are here, and then they want me to pick the years one out of it. Okay, done. All right, so that is that. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next class.